Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop right in. Oh, my battery's dying. This will be fun. Hey Nikki, so I have this group of friends and we get along really well. The way our friendship works is that they punch me and I get hurt. Don't get me wrong, at first it was funny, but now it's not. It really does hurt me and I just want to have be normal friends with them. I've tried to tell them that I want them to stop, but then they just say that I am angry and I'm not. This is the last thing I want it to be. Do you have any advice on how to make them stop without coming off angry and rude? Thanks. Okay. When there are issues with friends, there's different schools of thought. I have some friends who think that when things go down, you should tell them right then. And that's, you know, a good way too. But I think when there's this much emotion involved in it, and there's, even though I know it sounds like you're like emotion, but there is clearly because you've tried to tell them, and my bet is you probably tried to tell them as it happened. And so emotion doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. When I say a lot of emotion involved, it could be like a hype of like a good emotion, which, by the way, like the nerves in our brain of like happy and sad run really close to each other, which is why, at least this is what I've read, which is why when you hear bad news sometimes, like someone has passed away, sometimes you feel like laughing even though it's not funny at all because the nerve is so like it starts to hit the other one. Or when you hear something really happy, like have you ever laughed so hard that you start crying? Not because your eyes are watering, but literally all of a sudden you feel like it just goes like that, hits it. So when I say there's a lot of emotion there, I mean that I know what you're talking about, friends who get all riled up and they're like, yeah! And then you tell them and all of a sudden it's like, well, why are you angry? Why are you rude? Like, we're just having fun. So there's a lot of emotion there. So my best advice would be to go either with the whole group or maybe like your most trusted friend in the group when none of this is going on and say like, make it really light and like, no big deal type of thing, but also speak your mind and say, hey, you know, I realize this might sound crazy and maybe I sound like a total wimp, but I had to tell you, I don't really want to be so physical anymore. Like when we play around and we rough fight, like I end up getting hurt and then I'm like upset about my injury and it ends up being like a big deal over something that we just have fun with. So and this is if you're maybe telling the group, you can say it kind of like this, like, so could you guys just exclude me from the play fighting now just because apparently my body can't handle it and I love you guys and I want to hang and I don't want you to think that it's anything against you. Apparently I'm just a weakling. You know, kind of blowing it off but getting your point across. So I don't want to play fight anymore. Yeah, if you're with a friend, just one friend, you can kind of say the same thing and just tell them like, you know, if you don't feel like this would go well in the group, but maybe just with that friend it would go well, you can say to her, like, I didn't want to say anything to the whole group because I don't want people to be upset and think that I'm being dramatic because it's really not that dramatic to me. I just can't play fight anymore because my body's too weak. Do you think you could kind of, like, if a friend knows, they can kind of help diffuse the situation when you're there and kind of, like, take it off of you and, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in a situation and another friend knows, they can kind of, like direct it a different way. So use your judgment call. You know your friends. If you feel like sitting with a group of friends maybe at lunch when everything's calm or pulling them aside, that'd be the best, or just one friend. Use your judgment. Just make sure that you are direct, but you also kind of make it very light because you don't want it to come off as dramatic because it could easily go from like light and fun but direct to very like, guys, look, I don't want you to play fight with me anymore because it hurts my body. And then all of a sudden it's awkward. Like, you don't want any awkwardness. Just direct, but light, and like, yeah, no big deal, but I just have to tell you X, Y, Z, you know? So, yeah, that's it. So, okay, send your messages to asknikkip@gmail.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. No, like, in your case, maybe the fact that you're outspoken and you say what's on your mind and you want what you want in your brain to be heard, you might want to ask yourself, like, does it always need to be heard? Like, does my opinion always need to be heard? I